Hi viewers, welcome to Techie Track Education channel. Today we are going to see about full stack developer. So if anybody wants to become a full stack developer, they need to improve their skills in the following technologies like front end technology, that is called UI development, and service development and databases. Front end, that is called UI development. So what is front end? The user interface. UI means user interface. The which one is you are seeing in the mobile app or desktop application in the view, right? That is called front end. So for example, in this slide I am showing you like that two screens. The left side is the desktop laptop screen. So for example, if you are opening any simple application, it is displaying the contents in the horizontal way, that is called landscape way. So here it is displaying name, gender, username, password, those things are getting displayed. Suppose if you are opening the same page in the mobile, it will be displaying in the vertical order, that is called portrait order. So we don't want to develop two different pages to display it in desktop or laptop and mobile page. So we can develop a single page, and the page needs to be getting customized for both laptop and mobile. So we can achieve this using Bootstrap CSS or CSS3. Okay, let's move on to the what are all the technologies we are using in the UI development. Okay, first one is HTML5. So HTML5 is used to develop the web pages. All of you know about that, right? HTML. So HTML is having few versions like 4 and 5. The latest one is 5. So 5 can use it to improve the performance of the websites. It is easy to do the development as well as it will improve the performance of the websites. So CSS3, I already told you, like we need to do the responsive design. Responsive design means you don't want to develop the separate pages for both laptop and mobile. You can develop this simple page in using CSS3. So CSS3 will show the page, like either it will elaborate the page for desktop view, and it will shrink the page for mobile phone. So we can achieve the responsive design using CSS3. So once the page got developed using HTML and CSS, but you need to do the validation, and you need to do some other you need to make the application as future rich application, and you need to make the website as a future rich website, means you need to go to the Angularjs. So the Angularjs and React.js are mostly used in the responsive design applications. So both JS are JavaScripts, but it's having the different level of JavaScript. Actually, it's having that. AngularJS is owned by Google and React.js is owned by Facebook. React.js is used to develop the UI components. UI components means user interface web pages or user interface components. We can develop it in React.js, and we can do the single page applications. Single page application means not like a only one page in application. The application can have multiple pages, but all the pages are getting rendered, getting displayed in the same page. Earlier, if you, for example, if you have any older application, right, they have a lot of links like home page is there, and about us, contact us, those links are there. If you click those links, the page will be getting refreshed frequently. But if you are using React.js or Angular.js, you can develop the single page applications. So the page is not getting refreshed, so it will be getting rendered automatically. Actually, I am putting certain videos regarding the React.js in the same channel, so please subscribe it and you can learn the React.js as well. Okay, let's move on to service development. So before move on to service development, in the simple way, right, you have the username and name, gender, those things are there. So if you click the submit, suppose if you forgot to enter the password, it will be validating in the front end, because for that kind of validation we need to do it in the React.js or Angular.js. We can do a lot of things using React.js and Angular.js, but I am simply saying for the front end validation. Okay, so in we are doing the validation here. So once we click the submit, once you enter the password, username and everything, we need to validate that username or password is the valid or invalid one. So for validating the username and password, we can do the validation in using service development, because once you click the submit button, this value needs to be verified in the database. Generally, once you, for example, in the right side, if you see that, right, you are giving the first name, last name, address, city, those things, and you click the submit button, means those informations will be stored into the database. And while you log into the application, that information will be, username and password will be cross checked in the database, because the database contains the username and password. Based on that, if you enter the proper username and password, then only you can enter into the site. So to connect the UI and database, we are using the service, we need to use the service layer, that is called middle tier or service layer. So in service development, there are more softwares are there. I am just highlighting the few of the things here. First one is Node.js. So Node.js is like a dual road, like we can do the client side validation and server side validation, because it is a JavaScript, it is a server side JavaScript. You can develop the services using the Node.js. Next one is Python. So Python is a language actually. So it's a prolonged software. It's a prolonged period. The software is there. You can develop the various websites, softwares, and packages. Everything you can do that in Python. Next one is Spring MVC. So in Spring MVC, MVC means Model View Controller. I will put the separate video for what is Spring MVC, how can we develop the application. Those things will be upcoming things. So in Spring MVC, we can develop the web applications, because once we develop the front end, we need to interact with the database. We can write the code in Spring MVC to connect the database and get the information and do the validation in server side and return to the front end. We can do it in the Spring MVC. And next one is PHP. PHP means personal home page. So in PHP also we can develop the front end pages, and we can write the services also. But based on the company's requirement and project requirement, we can use PHP to do the web service development also. So another two things are there, like Spring Boot and microservices. So Spring Boot is the advanced version of Spring MVC. There are a lot of things are there. So in Spring MVC we need to write few code, but in Spring Boot we are most of the things are in the configuration based software. And microservices is like it's an architectural approach. We can write the code in Spring MVC or Spring Boot or PHP, whatever it is, we can write that, or C#, whatever it is, and we can implement the application in the microservices way. So for that also it is an architectural approach, and every services will be working in an independent way. Generally the application contains lot of services and it is getting used in a single shot. But if you use the microservices, every feature we can create the separate service, and everything we can deploy it independently. I will put the more videos for the microservices also. So in databases side, you don't want to become a very big expert in databases, but you need to know about the database fundamentals, because you need to know about create the table and insert the records, do the SQL queries to join the multiple tables. So there are various databases are there: Oracle, SQL Server, PostgreSQL. So these databases are SQL databases. SQL means structured query language. These are all SQL databases. So the MongoDB is a NoSQL. NoSQL means that it is not a structured query language database. So it means it's not having a specific structure. It contains the it's a graphical database. Generally we can store the values in a key value pair. We will see about the database elaborately in the upcoming sessions. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe it, share it, and like it. Please share it with your friends. Happy learning. Bye bye.